Well, EnVy do manage to get their second win of the season, albeit against a Cloud9 that have to play in a little bit of a different situation than what they probably ideally want to play it with. But my first question really is, how much do we take away from that? Because it's a Cloud9 playing with high ping. Only one player is actually over in America. You're going up against an EnVy that are a little bit more reinvigorated. They get a new player in there. You can see them being maybe a little bit more flashy, but they didn't exactly go up against a team that could constantly fight back in the same old fashion.
Nah, I think we should be completely honest and say nothing to be taken away from this game. Obviously, it's a great win for EnVyUs. They can be happy getting the final and second win of the season, whereas for Cloud9, as I tried to alert to in the pregame, it's a situation where if they win, that's fine, that's great. If they lose, they know why. Cloud9 is a team that would be beating EnVyUs 9 out of, not even 9 out of 10 games, probably like 39 out of 40 games, you know, in such a scenario. Whereas today, it's just the ping difference. It's the fact that Skadoodle is playing from NA. You have 4 guys playing in Europe with high ping, and you can just see the way they were playing on the T side. They tried to keep it very simple. They tried to do a lot of 4-man, 5-man pushes. See if they couldn't like get the trade frags and get the bomb plants, and then maybe get into scenarios where like the ping can maybe even help you, like peeking corners and stuff like that. But EnVyUs were doing a good job not allowing them to do that, and Cloud9 really had no chance of winning this one. It was one of those games where you can't take anything away from it, but obviously EnVyUs can be happy for the win, whereas for Cloud9, as said, it doesn't matter for them. They're probably going to lose out now, and they're going to put themselves in a bad spot for the rest of the Pro League season, but that's on them, you know. They decided to come here to Copenhagen and play from Copenhagen instead of staying at home.
Well, ping may have been the issue there for the Cloud9 side, as we will getting it right eventually. We will now look at what would help you if it's not ping that's going to be your issue. How about looking at some MSI products? You never know. Like this laptop we have here. You can get the best gear, be it VGA, be it the MSI laptops, be it your motherboards or whatever, from MSI, so make sure you head on over to there. And the other thing as well, we should certainly be taking a look at, it's not far away, it's just around the corner with some of the best teams in the world. It's IEM Chicago. IEM Chicago, you can get your tickets now at IEM.gg/tickets. So if you want to head over to Chicago, New York earlier was absolutely amazing. Maybe you want to come down and check this out as well.
You should. I'm going to be there.
Even more the reason why. Yeah. There you go. Get yourself a ticket and a pimp at the same time.
I mean, pretty cheap, if you ask me.
Your rates are that low at the moment,
that low.
That's the way it goes.
That cheap.
Now, going into this second map, will this just be another kind of same old scenario? Because to me, I don't think the map's going to change at all, right? It's a situation of bad ping. It's a situation of you're not really playing in an advantageous situation. And kind of for EnVy, time to get an extra score on the board. But it's not going to change anything really other than... Okay, I was actually going to give them a fair benefit of the doubt and say, oh, this would give them a chance to maybe, oh, okay, look, we can rock this and say we've got some good practice in, but it's not really practice, is it? You can't really even include it as that.
No, I mean, if anything, it can destroy Cloud9's hope of going to the playoff, whereas for EnVyUs, it's again, you know, one of those scenarios. Sure thing, it'll be great to get a win, and now they have a new player on the team. I'm not even sure if this is the new player, just a stand-in for this a coach apparently for this game. So it's one of those scenarios that neither of these teams has anything to win really, whereas for Cloud9, obviously, I mean, losing 2-0 to EnVyUs on paper looks bad, but under the circumstances we're playing right now, there's no shaming doing that. And it's probably going to be the consequence of them not making the Pro League finals, even if they were to win out the rest of the matches, because they're losing now 2-0 to EnVyUs. So for Cloud9, it's just a horrible situation and a little bit unfortunate, whereas for EnVyUs, we kind of painted the picture before. They've been too bad the entire season to even be at a place right now where it matters, whatever they 2-0 Cloud9.
And this is it, right? EnVy getting a 2-0 here. It doesn't change much for them. It's more of what it's doing against Cloud9. You said it's one of them things where at least they've got an excuse now going into it. What excuses have you got to make for these guys, Harry and Hugo?
What's your excuse to be here?
Oh!
I'll take it.
That's all he cares about. He wants,
well,
wants the money.
no. I care about your company, of course.
For me, it's all about this wonderful country.
Hey, the right answer to a man who joins us from Denmark as well.
Exactly. You know, I got to try and win pimp out however I can, even if that does mean supporting this country. And yeah, I'm a big fan of what we saw from EnVy there. If I'm honest with you, they look good. They played some clean CS. Ely was looking great as well as the coach, right? Like, not doing anything like wild, but that's kind of all part of it. You know, like just playing his game, playing it smart, and not allowing Cloud9 to find any ridiculous advantages.
Well, let's see if Cloud9 can find a ridiculous advantage, Harry, because they're certainly going to need it going into this map if they want to walk away with a win. But over and out now for you guys.
Thank you very much, James. Happy to be bringing the second game of the day. Of course, it is Cloud9 EnVyUs as we head into map number 2. I'm banking on EnVy taking this 2-0. Harry, we just saw a bit of a well, domination back on Mirage. Is Cash going to be any different? Are you expecting something new here from Cloud9?
No, not really. You know, especially because I think you look at this, you look at JDM and Nifty on this map, they can be pretty scary. The potential to bring like a double AWP CT side into this, for example, it's something that I think is pretty terrifying if you are the Cloud9 guys. That said, I always like watching, you know, the likes of Flusher and Golden on this map, so equally so, going to be interesting to see.
Those odds looking good for Envy right now, 1.28 to 3.2. That's always a confusing odd to see when you've got this kind of game, but let's always remember the context of it. Envy going for that fast A play here in the pistol round. We've got smokes down. Rush, he's going to be climbing up. That's a very deep smoke as well. Bit of a gap in it. Not sure exactly where it was covering off. More so the car than anything, but Nifty just opening up this bomb site. JDM following up as well. The two players we saw in that previous map just firing on all cylinders. I like this usage of the smoke from JDM. Flusher, Golden, sorry, not going to be ready for it, and Drone just shooting Flusher through the door. That's Envy taking a pistol round there.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. You know, you never thought you'd see those odds if you were, you know, if you're a big better, Hugo.
Yeah.
You'd never imagine that you'd see Envy more favored to win than Cloud9. But obviously, there is kind of the asterisk by this game, and there being the ping problem for the Cloud9 boys. Not an awful problem at the end of the day. There's pings, you know, we saw them. They're all kind of around like the 80 mark. That isn't like the end of the world. But, yeah, I mean, they just have looked pretty flat. And Envy, they've been playing some pretty clean CS thus far. They haven't been... Like, you know, I mean, on paper, because I hadn't really seen much of this team, Hugo, you or I, obviously we've been doing the EU stuff up until now. For me, I figured it would be a lot more individualistic thus far, you know. I figured that we'd see a lot of, you know, just kind of running around, playing your own game, right? They don't seem to be synergizing amazingly. Yeah, that said, Flush is just going to go ahead and do that. Deletes Nifty over to water B bomb site. There's no trades. Because, yeah, how on earth do you trade that?
Just through a smoke. Oh dear, poor Nifty.
Just finished, obviously, installing the whole new office suite. Yeah. Flusher.
Loves a bit of PowerPoint. Well,
it's all about Excel nowadays.
And Flusher's doing exactly that with his pistol. It's Mac 10 handed over. Not exactly a big upgrade to the likes of Cloud9, but they are going to have a pretty empty B bomb site. See those rotates come off. Rush moving out. Automatic falling back. Failed Molotov on the A site. Won't cause too much of a problem, though. And we're about to walk into this empty B bomb site. There's the gun dropped up in main. Lots of weapons here for Cloud9. They can go for this at the end of the day. It's only USPs. Problem is, 5-on-3 retake, even with the double man advantage. As soon as Envy get the bomb down, that's when things get very, very difficult. But Ele, he's been dinked. He's going to find the kill as a result. But even so, this is starting to get very worrying. Drone's got to catch his connector, these rotations through the vents, and there's a good trade there for Skadoodle. That leaves now Cloud9 with a man up still, and a couple of guns scavenged forward. Ele going to be hiding. It's going to be Cutler to get the kill instead. Skadoodle trading it back, and Cutler's got to find a 1v2 on the site. This should be doable. They're armorless, but they're pushing together one by one. Cutler's going to find them both. That looks so good for Cloud9, and then Skadoodle just takes the 1v1 when his teammate is mid-air, and no trade can come through there for Cloud9, and we will have that conversion.
Yeah, that certainly gets a little bit worrying if you are the Team Envy squad there. Maybe a little too close for comfort versus these pistols. The AWP's going to be bought in for Cloud9 early on. You can see Flusher going to be the man electing to don that. We've seen it float around between him and Automatic, which is certainly interesting. Obviously not wanting to throw it over to Skadoodle because you don't want to build any sort of reliance around him. In that sense, you know, you want your new AWPers, I guess, to be getting the practice in here online. Ooh. A miss flash over into middle, and maybe that gives away for Rush to get some damage done. They do lose Automatic close, but Rush is instantly able to trade there from the white box, so at least they do have that to look forward to. Envy going to be sitting a man down right now, trying to claw their way back into this round, and JDM almost actually going to get timing as he goes blow for blow. Down here in mid with Golden and Connector. Is able to win it out, so now at least back into even odds, but the rotations come through for Cloud9. Two players up here in the A-bomb site, and Ely going to get bested. The trade attempts to come through from Cutler, but he's not ready for Flusher. And that now leaves JDM alone in a 1v3, but he has at least managed to get this B bomb site.
Yeah, they've had to give it up and all of the confusion going on over on A. Question is, does JDM realise, or does he give away his position? It will be there after the Molotov goes in. The warning bells are going to be called here. Cloud9 know what's going on. He can go for that safe plant, but he actually damaged himself a bit with the molly. That's going to come back to haunt him now on 39 points of health. No reason for any Cloud9 players to fully commit to any kind of fight here until they're grouped up, and now they are. This is where things are going to get very, very difficult. And Rush on that long flank being able to shut it all down. JDM going to be dropped on Cloud9. They'll take their first round here on the CT side. Not letting Envy run off to a dominant start just yet, but this is exactly what we saw in Mirage. 2-2, in fact, before it ended in quite a dominant way for Envy.
Yeah, just going to be back to the drawing board here. Pistols out for the EnVyUs side, and even then it's a Deeg on Cutler. That's really all there is to be too excited about in this sort of situation. Not too hopeful in them getting much done here, Hugo. I don't know about you. But they're going to try and take the fight over here in mid. Automatic chance to, I was going to say farm some frags, pad those stats, but instead he's going to go ahead and get dropped. The Glock's able to find one. And continuing to push on in now, they're going to try and run the gauntlet. Rush able to find one more. The bomb dropped up here at the top of Highway. Now Flush are going to come on in. This should be Cloud9's round. They haven't managed to keep it as clean as they would have liked. And luckily enough, Rush is going to go ahead and hold on to his rifle despite being brought down low. Now we're tied up once again, back to 2-2.
And here is where the buy comes through, Harry. That previous round, Eco has allowed them to pull out plenty of rifles. AWP going to be available. Elay will be on that. No, gonna throw that over. I was maybe wondering if that was off of spawn, but JDM obviously on the AWP here for Envy. What are your thoughts on JDM AWPing over Nifty / vice versa / double AWP?
Yeah, I mean, that was like the issue with this team. You had 3 AWPers in it originally. Now you've only got 2 after they benched Semphis. But, you know, you've still got 2 AWPers.
Yeah.
Isn't fantastic. It's not ideal. I think Nifty's pretty good on the rifle, but I personally would much rather have him on the AWP. I mean, that said, right, I don't know how you deal with that if you're the EnVyUs side, because JDM, obviously a very talented AWPer as well. I can't really think of many rosters where we've had 2 dedicated AWPers in the squad, right? Usually you do just have that one man who brings it at every occasion, and then I guess like the closest worked example where like it's it'd be a big team, like Mouse Sports, right, with Chris J and Oscar.
Yeah, like map dependent, right?
Yeah, but even then, you still would say Oscar is the more solidified one out of the 2 of them who dons the AWP. Like Chris J might have been the AWPer back in the day, but certainly not now. And so I guess that's sort of Nifty's role within this team.
Oh, drone, that's the bomb. Big kill to come through for Cloud9 at the 35-second mark, and even Flush are going to cut down Cutler, trying to cut his way through that A bomb site. The hot flank to A. Envy, they're going to need something desperately. 25 seconds on this clock. Nifty, far too far away to get anything done, and even if he were to get that kill, it's a small consolation. Elay's got to play this one alone, and that nade, I don't think you can get more chunky. Elay going to put down to 47. But he does get given the A site. This is the question mark on this round. Rush going to have to run back. Elay, all right, opening up Microsoft Word potentially, but it's going to be closed down by Flusher on that A bomb side after all. Cloud9, 4 players surviving into that buy round. Not too bad after all. Puts Envy down to $2,000.
Yeah, no more money here. In Cloud9, they're certainly managing to keep up appearances here on the second map. We saw over on Mirage, they never really got anything done. They win both pistols there, and even then, scoreline was that very dismal 16-7 finish. They managed to get 3 on the back of rifle rounds. They've already managed to do that here on Cash. So chance now for them to find a 4th, Hugo. It's already been a much more convincing performance from Cloud9. If they split the series tonight, then that could be their way of saving themselves. As we say, they have about 2 more series other than this one left to play. Cutler, he's certainly not wanting to let them have a decent time of things right now. He's going to go ahead and shut down Flusher early on in middle. I mean, that's the thing, right? If you're Cloud9, you do have that caveat of having a slightly higher ping, but you still want to be playing some sound Counter-Strike. You know, they still have an event coming up in just a few days.
And that's the thing. Like any practice you've done with this roster for the upcoming event, you can't play the same setups because you have Skadoodle. You don't want to give away any setups the day before the event and let teams prepare for you. So realistically, like Cloud9, they can't play to their full potential. And even though that is the case, they are shredding them down on the round here with the eco from Envy. Cutler last man standing, and probably not for too much longer with 15 points of health. The nade, although Soundless is going to be just as impactful in terms of damage. Automatic will find 3. And Cloud9, 4-2 here on this CT side. They have definitely come back into this map rather than that previous, where they had obviously a bit of a struggle. AWP going to be on JDM now into this buy round, and we do have still that double AWP running for Cloud9. I like seeing Flusher on the AWP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were to try and pick a 5th for this team, you know,
For Envy?
yeah, no, for Cloud9, imagining that Keo isn't going to be the permanent addition.
Well, that's a hard one because
It is, yeah.
if I was given control over this roster, I'd make a lot of different changes probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think
You wouldn't even find a 5th.
Yeah, they play 4v5 every game. No, I don't know. I'm kind of curious about the state of this team. I don't have an answer for that, Harry, honestly.
Well, for me, like the most obvious change, the one that I would have loved, is actually on the opposite team right now is Nifty. I think that would have been great, or even JDM. You know, take your pick. 2 fantastic AWPers there.
You know who we need?
Who?
Doc.
Well,
No.
we'll hold out on that one for now. I mean, maybe. Automatic does just go ahead and close his problems away. The only issue is you can't just do that to your demons, Automatic. You can't just bury them, because then they come back and they're twice as strong. He's going to get bought down to 20 HP there through the door. He tried to sink his demons. His demons can swim, Hugo. It's Ely over here. Maybe Ely can swim. I don't know much about him. But he has done damage, and he's set Envy up nicely. They're going to leave this down to the last closing segments of this round. Automatic and Rush managed to pick off the early onslaught from Team Envy, but Nifty's clawed absolutely everything back into this round. Flush is going to find him, but only 5 seconds left. This bomb has to go down, and it's going to go down just in the nick of time with seconds to spare. Skadoodle barreling on in, and now it's Ely, the coach of Team Envy, versus Flusher. Major winner, Swedish legend of Counter-Strike. 17 HP over on the side of Flusher, 100 on Ely, the coach of Team Envy. And he's read this well. He's read him like a book, Hugo. Flusher's going to start to creep on forward. And Ely... What? Ooh. Flusher's going to land it. So actually, he's going to go ahead and pick up the kill and the round on the back of it. Cloud9, a 5th to their name.
That's that 100 ping peak coming through, Harry.
Yeah.
Ely not ready for that. Flusher with the keen reactions back into the bomb site. And wow, what a clutch to win. It's going to keep Cloud9's economy strong for somewhat a bit of time, because of course Envy, they've got about $4,000 per player, so they are going to be able to continue to buy up, keep things in question. Sorry. Bit of a match pause, Harry. Maybe a tactical for Envy. Ely now going to have far more control over his team, being the coach. Not only just outside the server, but inside of it, and in the hot seat right now, in the playing seat. He had a great game back on Mirage on that T side, especially finding a lot of entry kills. Over here on Cash, things are starting to look a little bit slower for Envy. It's a better start for Cloud9, a 5-2 taken. That clutch is going to put them up to potentially try and break this money of Envy in the upcoming round.
Did you actually hear the reason for the pause, Hugo? I couldn't quite make it out.
No, it was quite quiet.
It was. I'm going to assume, given that the time hasn't kickstarted, that this is going to be it looks like a ping thing. Ely is now up 112 ping. Maybe he's quickly gone ahead and caught a quick flight over to Europe to regroup with the rest of the Cloud9 boys.
Is that a leak?
Yeah.
Ely being their new 5th?
Yeah, maybe.
Why not?
Only time will tell.
I mean, he's got something in common with Skadoodle. They're both at the bottom of the scoreboard right now.
There we go. Very observant. And, you know, you think about the previous map from Cloud9. Skadoodle was the man doing the bulk of that damage. This time, though, he's got the whole supporting cast out around him, and Cloud9 actually off to a very good start. Envy finding the pistol and not anything since then. We do need to see a little bit more from them. I was excited, especially about the prospect of double AWP here on this map between Nifty and JDM. Now, obviously not likely going to see that over on their T side, Hugo. Perhaps moving into their CT side, that's something they can look to explore a little bit more.
I mean, Cloud9 have been pulling it in since the start of the game. Pretty much every opportunity they get, it's straight into the double AWP, and yeah, why not? It's weird to not see Skadoodle on the AWP at all. Maybe he just like doesn't want to again, with the fact that he's given up playing professionally, supposedly, at least for the Cloud9 team. Although that's always caused into question with the amount that he's actually still coming in and playing these games for them. But always that supportive fifth player is Skadoodle. But yeah, I would like to see him on one of these two AWPs either way. I feel like if you're running a double AWP and you don't have your major MVP AWPer on the AWP, then you're making a bit of a questionable decision. Unless, of course, he doesn't want to do it. In which case, that's a whole nother scenario. But yeah, double AWP for Cloud9 going to be coming into this round, Harry.
The thing that I'm always curious about with Skadoodle is, you know, this is his second time retiring.
Yeah.
And you know, last time he retired, he kept playing the Pro League games, and then he was like, you know what?
I'm playing really well.
I'll stick around. I'm playing pretty good. And he's been playing pretty well thus far. He's stuck around for the Pro League games. You know, they say history repeats itself, Hugo. Is it going to be third time's a charm for Skadoodle's retirement? Are we going to see him stick inside this Cloud9 roster a little bit longer?
I think it's just a bartering way to get more money from your organization. No, I'm joking, obviously.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
No,
hitting us with the hardcore, you know, business insider.
I mean, that would be one way, but you know, rolling in that major winning money, Harry. He doesn't give a damn. But yeah,
Hugo, you've won a major, right?
A couple of them, yeah.
Yeah?
Here and there.
No, you were actually saying, you know, you want to play on LAN for the first time.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity just recently, but you couldn't attend.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. I was going to say, you know, like, what for you? I don't know where I'm going with that. We're just going to drop it. Yeah, Cloud9 versus Team Envy. I think I do, man. I think I do need some of these fun facts. We're going to go ahead.
Can you give us some cloud fun facts?
Some fun facts. Some fun facts about clouds. Fun facts about clouds.
Wow, you're really giving it the speed that it deserves.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You know, I'm trying.
Not for kids, please.
Yeah, no, they're always the worst. I go on it because I think that, you know, they'll be nice, they'll be digestible, they'll be easy to understand.
It's like clouds are in the sky.
Yeah.
Harry, Envy love a bit of cash, but you know what they need? They need some more utility. And you guys at home need that as well. Let's look at some fun pro tips done by the man himself, Mr. Rushley, before we head back into this game.
Hey Future Pros, back on cash. We have an interesting smoke field today. I have to thank Virtus Pro's Neo for bringing this one to our attention. It's thrown correctly or block off highway. To do this tricky smoke, look at the skies and aim to the right side of this cloud. Then get running. You want to hit the wall leading to mid, then let go of A and run forwards. Throw the smoke just as you pass the doorway on your left side. You will likely have to give this one a few attempts. But when you get it nailed down, you can execute a pretty fast A push.